And in a bold, if not surprising move, Donald Trump, aiming to shape his administration in true Project 2025 fashion, nominated Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and former Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. This decision is notable for its deviation from typical appointments, opting instead for political loyalists with controversial backgrounds. But that's what Trump said he was going to do. So let's now take a closer look at these nominations, their implications, and the political landscape they're set to certainly disrupt. Matt Gaetz is a firebrand congressman from Florida who is no stranger to controversy. He's known for his unflinching support of Donald Trump, and he has a penchant for stirring political drama. Gaetz has built a reputation as a disruptor within his Republican Party. His nomination to lead the Department of Justice comes at a time when Trump has openly criticized the agency, accusing it of being part of a weaponized government targeting his political allies. Now, as you know, the Department of Justice did not do that. Gaetz' selection has raised eyebrows across the political spectrum. Traditionally, the Attorney General role is filled by individuals with extensive legal experience and a reputation for independence. By contrast, Gaetz has been involved in several legal controversies, including a high-profile investigation into alleged sex trafficking, which was eventually closed without charges. Despite this, ongoing inquiries by the House Ethics Committee remain a point of concern for both supporters and critics of Gaetz. The House of Representatives Ethics Committee was set to release its finding into Gaetz' questionable ethics on Friday. That's Friday coming, the 15th of this month, November. Knowing this, Gaetz resigned from the House effective immediately on Wednesday, November 13th. So we may never know what was in that report now. Welcome to Project 2025. We're already seeing the effects of it. Trump's choice of Gaetz aligns with his broader strategy to install loyalists who can drive his agenda without pushback. People who are yes men who eventually renders Trump in charge of everything. Trump has been vocal. Gaetz has been vocal about his desire to overhaul the DOJ, particularly in areas related to immigration and voter ethics and all of that, and what he perceives as DOJ's bias. But what this amounts to right now is pretty much a Gaetz Department of Justice that's a partisan department. His nomination comes with political risks. Senate Republicans have expressed skepticism about Gaetz' confirmation, with some members suggesting that his polarizing persona and ongoing ethical questions might complicate the process. Despite Trump's endorsement, securing Senate approval could be a significant hurdle, even that given the anticipated scrutiny during confirmation hearings. Now let's talk about Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is nominated as Director of National Intelligence, DNI, as another unconventional move by Trump. Gabbard, a former Democratic Congresswoman from Hawaii and a 2020 presidential candidate, has had a complex relationship with her own party after clashing with Democratic leaders on foreign policy and national security issues. Her political stance has shifted significantly in recent years, aligning more closely with populists, MAGA, and being more anti-establishment. And that resonates with Donald Trump's base. And that resonates with Donald Trump because she's a yes woman and a lackey. Gabbard's views on foreign policy are well known for their criticism of the US military interventions and her call for a restrained non-interventionist approach. As a potential head of the intelligence community, she would oversee agencies like the CIA and NSA, which have traditionally supported more hawkish foreign policy stances. Tulsi Gabbard. Her nomination is seen as a signal that Trump intends to pursue a more isolationist strategy. emphasizing a focus on domestic issues over international conflicts. And that's all well and good, but the world is a weird and strange place, and sometimes you need a strong foreign policy. It suggests a broader alignment aimed at consolidating support from voters, disillusioned by the traditional bipartisan consensus on national security. Gabbard's appointment would likely provoke strong opposition from both Democratic and Republican lawmakers who view her foreign policy position as too dovish or isolationist. However, her outside status could appeal to Americans frustrated with the perceived lack of accountability within the intelligence community. And I don't think anyone could argue against that. Moreover, Gabbard's role as DNI would involve crucial responsibilities such as overseeing intelligence assessments related to threats from Russia, China, and other global adversaries. Her criticism of the US involvement in conflicts like Syria and her skepticism about the intelligence community's past actions may lead to significant policy shifts if she's confirmed. And that's a big if. Both nominations, however, reflect Trump's commitment to placing loyalists in top positions, prioritizing personal allegiance over conventional qualifications. And I don't think anyone could argue that neither Tulsi Gabbard nor Matt Gaetz is qualified for the jobs they are being appointed to by Trump. But this strategy aims to counterbalance what Trump sees as entrenched bureaucratic resistance within federal agencies. By nominating Gaetz and Gabbard, Trump is doubling down on his combative approach, likely anticipating fierce battles in the confirmation process and the media. But this is all in line with what Trump and his acolytes have been saying about tearing down, burning down the government. For Gaetz, the confirmation process could be turbulent, with Senate Democrats expected to challenge his legal and ethical record. Even some Republicans may be hesitant to back him, given the potential backlash and the optics of appointing someone under ethical investigation to head the DOJ, some argue. I don't believe that. I strongly think that with Donald Trump faced with all his legal challenges, nobody that Donald Trump could choose now would pose any risk, regardless of their checkered criminal past or whatever. It won't matter. It won't matter at all. Look who's at the top. A new direction for Trump's cabinet. If confirmed, these appointments would signal a dramatic shift in the leadership of two of the most powerful government entities. Gaetz's DOJ could become a tool for aggressive legal action against Trump's political enemies, and the electorate was warmed about that. While Gabbard's DNI might pivot towards a less interventionist strategy, potentially reshaping the US approach to global conflicts and intelligence gatherings, Trump's decision to nominate Gaetz and Gabbard appears to be a calculated gamble aimed at appeasing his base after the 2024 election, while simultaneously challenging the status quo in Washington, D.C. The move underscores the broader narrative of fighting against what he described as a deep state apparatus working against his political interests. Trump's nomination of Gaetz and Gabbard reflects his ongoing effort to centralize power within a core group of loyalists who share his vision of dismantling existing institutional norms. As the confirmation battles unfold, these nominations will likely serve as a litmus test for Trump's influence within the Republican Party and his ability to reshape key aspects of the federal government. While the political implications are still unfolding, one thing is clear: Trump picks are setting the stage for a contentious and potentially transformative period in US politics, as the former president aims to leave a lasting imprint on the country's legal and intelligence landscape. Whether these appointments will be a boon or a blunder remains to be seen. But they undoubtedly represent Trump's boldest attempts yet to redefine his administration's approach to governance and national security. Steve Bannon, one of Trump's most loyal acolytes, I've spoken ad nauseum about destroying what he characterized as the administrative state, and he have repeatedly said that that is what they came to do, to destroy the administrative state. Well, I don't know what that looks like to them, but some of these nominations seem to suggest that Gaetz at justice, a job which he's patently unqualified for, would seem to suggest that Trump really doesn't want leaders in these positions. He just wants placeholders. And that has been his modus operandi from his first term, where he basically used placeholders. But it seemed like some of these appointments are placeholders. And I tend to think that he intends to govern as a king and have these placeholders report to him while he makes the decision on what goes on in those agencies. Traditionally, intelligence was left up to the intelligence agencies, but now a lackey is being placed at the head of the DNI, and that spells trouble for the United States and its security agencies, and for the national security of the United States. I don't know what to say about defense, that a Fox News analyst, I don't know, a propagandist on Fox who served in the military. And I think he attained the rank of major. He's now going to be in charge of the Defense Department, a department that is now run by a 4-star general. It's now going to be run by a major. It seems to me a clear indication that these placeholders are just going to be there as appeasement to his base. But basically, they're placeholders who are not going to have any power, because all power will be centralized in one man, the king. Have a good night.